If you've ever tried to force a new habit through sheer willpower, you know it's a losing battle. Most resolution-style goals fail because they rely on peak enthusiasm, a resource that inevitably crashes when the initial excitement fades. This crash happens because the human brain isn't designed to maintain constant high-effort motivation. Instead of relying on mental grit, we need to install a habit operating system, a framework that uses the math of compounding small wins to make progress automatic. We are going to build your personal system right now. Grab a pen and paper and draw a line down the middle. We will map out one good habit to build on the left and one bad habit to destroy on the right. By the end of this exercise, you won't be trying to try harder. You will have a setup where your physical environment and your daily loops dictate your success without the need for constant discipline. Step 1. At the top of your page, write, "I am the type of person who," followed by the identity you want to adopt. For example, I am the type of person who never misses a workout. This diagram shows 3 layers of change. Most people focus on outcomes, but those changes vanish once the target is reached. Lasting change starts at the innermost circle, your identity. The goal isn't to run a marathon, it's to become a runner. When you believe you are a runner, you stop fighting your self-image. Your habits become a reflection of who you are. To build that identity, master the 4-step loop. A cue triggers your brain, a craving provides motivation, the response is the habit, and the reward satisfies the craving. To influence this loop, write down the 4 laws of behavior change. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. Every time you complete this loop, you provide your brain with evidence. Each single repetition serves as a tangible vote for the new identity you wrote at the top of the page. Applying Law 1, making it obvious, and Law 3, making it easy, doesn't require a mental shift. It requires you to deliberately manipulate the physical world so that the right choice is the path of least resistance. This is environment design. If the first thing you see when you sit on the couch is the TV remote, that's the habit you'll trigger. But if you place a book on your pillow, you've created an unmissable cue for a better habit before you even think about it. Look at your good habit. Write down one specific physical item you will deliberately move in your house today to physically make the cue for that habit impossible to miss. Highly disciplined people don't actually have more willpower. They simply spend less time in tempting situations. They optimize their rooms so that good choices are the default response. Most people fail by being too ambitious. They start a new habit at a high intensity, creating massive friction and leading to burnout within days. To prevent this, apply the 2-minute rule. Look at your good habit and scale it down to a version that takes less than 2 minutes. Read 30 books becomes read 1 page. Write down this gateway version. It's the foundational unit of your new system. Now, move to the right side of your paper. To break a bad habit, invert the 4 laws. Make the cue invisible, the craving unattractive, the response difficult, and the reward unsatisfying. Making the response difficult is incredibly powerful. Write down one severe physical obstacle you will place between yourself and your bad habit today. If you snack too much, move the junk food to the highest, most inconvenient shelf. You cannot optimize a habit that doesn't exist. Mastering the art of simply showing up, even for just 2 minutes, is more important than the intensity of the effort. There is a biological disconnect with building good habits. The effort is immediate, but the results are heavily delayed. This gap is where most people lose their momentum. To solve this, you must satisfy the 4th law, make it satisfying. Use a visual tracker, like marking an X on a calendar, to give yourself an immediate dopamine hit every time you finish your 2-minute gateway action. This visual evidence creates its own internal motivation, leading directly to the absolute golden rule of tracking: never miss twice. If you miss one day, the only priority is showing up the next day to keep the chain from breaking. As marks on your calendar accumulate, your focus shifts. You are no longer trying to reach a distant goal, you are simply protecting the streak. Review your paper. You now have a defined identity, a 2-minute gateway habit, an optimized environment, high friction for bad choices, and a tracker to visualize your progress. Get up right now and move the one physical item required to trigger your good habit. Then hide the one item required to block your bad habit. Perfection isn't the goal here. The goal is to surrender to the systemic loop you've just designed. This chart shows the mathematical certainty of this system. By focusing on these atomic 2-minute changes, you aren't looking for an overnight transformation. But by getting just 1% better every day, your progress compounds, leading to results that are entirely unrecognizable over time.